Welcome back to Have Some Shame, our weekly segment here where we talk about individuals or promotions or situations where the parties involved need to have some shame and pride and do better. And I'm just going to get right to it. My co host, he has some thoughts on all elite women.
All elite women. Tony Khan, have some shame. What are you doing, man? 4 hours of programming, which is a lot, and you don't diversify that card, and we get 12 minutes of women's wrestling on a 4 hour and like 6 minute card because you used the run over. Um, you main evented with the Tony and Mercedes uh, face off the week before. We were in the crowd. It was electric. It had your best main event ratings growth in a long time. And you follow that up with, Mercedes ringside, Tony wrestling. Okay, that's great. What else did you do for the rest of the division? And it was lacking. And, you know, you have a fan audience clamoring to get fed with all of this women's talent. You've signed a lot of talent, Tony. Let's get them on screen. You re-signed Willow. Where was Willow? Rated wise, best growth on the show, Tony and Mercedes. Once again, Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné. The women are cooking. You need to let the women cook on your show. You got a 4 hour show coming up this week. And if it's not better than what you gave us last week for the women, it's only going to get louder. So, Tony Khan, have some shame.
All right. My segment, this one pains me
Tough.
because I believe he's one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time and should be on anybody's Mount Rushmore. So, okay, this one hurts. Okay. Yesterday, they had the AAA When Worlds Collide with the WWE, their first collaborative effort since WWE purchased AAA. And so Rey Mysterio Jr. came out into the middle of the ring and said, WWE, I couldn't believe this. I had to rewind it. WWE stamping Lucha Libre is what Lucha Libre needs. So let me give everybody a little bit of a history lesson. Lucha Libre is 162 years old. CMLL, which is Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, is 100 and it's 1933, so it's almost 100 years old. Okay, significantly older than the WWE, even the WWF, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, which I believe is like 60 or 1960, I think. El Santo, who, according to our favorite observer, is the greatest draw in the history of professional wrestling. More than Hogan, more than Austin, more than The Rock, more than anybody from Japan. El Santo, the greatest luchador of all time. Rey Mysterio is number two, but the greatest draw in the history of professional wrestling. For Rey Mysterio, of all people, who is one of the reasons I even know what AAA is because of Rey Mysterio when I watched Worlds Collide in 94. I understand he is a WWE employee and they cut him a really good check. And they cut Dom Mysterio a really good check. They have generational wealth because of WWE. I get that. But he did not have to sell his soul like that.
Yeah.
If he had said, WWE is going to bring Lucha Libre to the masses, which is what always has been the goal of me as somebody who started at 16 years old in AAA. I would appreciate that because he's right. WWE is going to take AAA to a global scale. Like that Worlds Collide pay-per-view was probably watched by more fans than any other AAA event in a long time. But to say that Lucha Libre needs the WWE stamp, that was shameful, Ray. That was
Yeah.
shameful. You're better than that. you don't have to sell your soul. What are they going to do? Fire you? They're going to fire Dom. Dom's one of the hottest acts in the company. Like, and I would understand if Rey Mysterio was a heel. Like if Dominic Mysterio came out and gave that speech, you
It'd
know
be
what?
different.
Lucha Libre is crap. WWE needs to give him its stamp. It's this no, that's okay. But it's Rey Mysterio, for God's sakes. Like Rey Mysterio, who is the reason that Io Sky is a wrestler, and Kairi Sane and Stephanie Vacour and Mercedes Monet, because Eddie Guerrero Rey, for him to be such a inspiration to so many wrestlers who I love, and for him to say that was gross, because Lucha Libre does not have to take a backseat to WWE or to any promotion, because quite honestly, the best parts of all of these wrestling companies now, from Will Ospreay to EO, is Lucha Libre influenced. So to me, it was shameful. Was disappointed in Rey for doing that. Rey Mysterio, you got to have some shame and some soul. That was a really soulless thing you did. All right. All right. I can't hear you. Okay. All right.
Thanks everyone for joining us on
Thank
this
you.
latest episode of Have Some Shame. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.